So sometimes when you're creating a web page, you're going to want certain groups of tags or certain parts of your page to behave differently for the rest. For example, you might like to make some text stand out, or have a different background color, or have different sections of a page. But when you're doing this, you don't want to make multiple style sheets. The way to get around this is to use something called selectors. In this class, we're going to look at two of them. We're going to look at class selectors, and we're going to look at ID selectors. A class is a group of tags that will behave differently from the rest of the tags that it's a part of. For example, a common style choice of a website is that when they have maybe a shopping table of results, they alternate the text color and the background color of each row to make it easier to line them up. They do that using class selectors. How that could look is that you would make a class of table row on your style sheet. To do that, you name the tag you want, table row, dot, the name of the class you want it to be. The name can be almost anything. There's a few reserved words. You can't use the word name as your name, for example. But you can go tr.even for even rows. Just a simple name like that. After that, it behaves the exact same way as everything else on our style sheet. You name what you want to change, full colon, what you want to change about it, semicolon. So we'll add this. Last week we made a style sheet named testing.css. We'll add that here. Unfortunately, by itself, this will do nothing because you need to tell the tr tags on your page to use it. So you would need to go into each of your even rows and give it the class even. The class attribute, and then this name just needs to match what this name was written here. So if we wanted to do this, we could copy this. Last week we made a table on testing.html. Depending on how you want to count, I'll count this one as my even row. So I'll replace this tr tag with the tr tag that has the class even. So that'll be my class. The second selector is called the ID selector. An ID selector is used to make one very specific thing stand out on a page. IDs are meant to be unique, so you shouldn't plan to use one more than once on a page. In fact, it won't work if you try to. If you want to change multiple things, you need to use a class. So IDs can change anything. They can be put into any tag. So when you're naming an ID, you don't actually name any tag. You just put the number sign, what you want your ID to be named. In this case, it's just named my ID. What you want to change, what you want to change it to. We'll copy this. Put it on our style sheet. And again, just like before, you have to tell the part of the page you want to use that ID. And again, since the ID can go into anything, you could put it anywhere. This example is going to put it in our paragraph tag. So we'll copy this. We'll go to our testing page. We had a paragraph here. I'll add that attribute ID equals my ID here. We'll go to our testing page. And you'll see the paragraph was made purple. And apparently the colors didn't work out very well, but this row was made to be a light gray background. It just is light gray on pink, which is kind of unfortunate. But that's how you could do class and ID selectors on your style sheet.